What's up, guys, and welcome to the Hatman collection update on Flesh Wound Features. A little bit rare tonight. I'm riding solo. I feel like some of my region-free family. I'm not used to this, but hey, hopefully we'll get an active chat tonight and show off some cool stuff. Well, before we get into it, if you guys have anything that you've purchased recently and would like to talk about, I'll have my eyes on the comments and I'll try and answer any questions you guys may have. So tonight, a lot of Blu-rays. I've got some 4Ks, some DVDs, some action figures, some books, all sorts of horror related stuff that I've picked up on my recent travels. So we'll get right into it. I'll kick it off. Actually, I got more DVDs than normal this past couple months or whatever it's been since the last update. Gotten a few. I bid on like storage lockers once in a while, and I've actually found some pretty cool stuff. So we'll do DVDs first. Then, like I said, we got Blu-rays, we've got action figures, all sorts of stuff. It's a pretty diverse lineup. All right, we'll kick it off. So this movie, not a horror film, but it's come up quite a few times, and that is Lady Macbeth with Florence. Never know how to say her last name, but Florence Pugh. She was fake Paige, of course, for you wrestling fans, but she's also in the new Black Widow thing. I'm not gonna lie, I picked it up because Florence is in some steamy scenes, but I think there is also like some kind of thriller element to this at the same time. At least there's comparisons to Hitchcock, so it's not maybe entirely non-horror, but yeah, grab that one. Florence is gorgeous. Could care less about Black Widow, but but hey, I like her in Midsummer. I love Midsummer, so I'm curious to see that. How's it going, Brian? Thanks for listening tonight. All right. This actually, if I'm not mistaken, was a Dollar Tree pickup. I've hit that a couple times recently and gotten lucky. It's a DVD, Olive Films, and this one is Goto Isle of Love. By, and I can never say his name, but I'm a big fan of the director, Walerian Borowick. Horror fans should know that name. DVD, I don't think this one is on Blu-ray yet. Not sure. I could be wrong about that. But Dollar Store, Olive, this is one of those ones where, if you hit the dollar store for movies, you kind of have to hit it like just when they unload the truck, pretty much. And I think I got lucky this time because hey, Olive, I'll check it out. I've never actually seen the film, but hey, why not? So this one, I think this was Second and Charles. I did not have this. I thought I did. It is called Stinger, and this is like a killer alien scorpions on a submarine creature feature. Sure, it's not as cool as the cover art. I don't know if I've ever saw this. It's not a new movie. This is at least 15 years old. But I don't know if I ever saw it. There's a really goofy, fun, goofy film called Tail Sting, but this is not that one. So it's entirely possible I've seen it. We will see. Another new pickup. This one's a sci-fi film, and it appears to actually be a Russian sci-fi film called Final Voyage. I know nothing about this, but I am a sci-fi fan. We don't get to talk too much about sci-fi here, but yeah, looks like it has some decent critical acclaim, so it could end up being a little gem. And what have you guys bought recently? Feel free to weigh in the chat. Okay, this one, I think I saw this. I vaguely remember it. It's kind of like an erotic thriller type thing. Loser Love. Of all people, Burt Young of Rocky fame is in this. I don't think he's doing any smashing, but you know, maybe, you never know. Don't remember a whole lot about it. I know I've seen this, but I think this was a while ago. So, you know, hey, I think this was like $1, $2, whatever, at Second and Charles. So I grabbed it, and yeah, I'm a big erotic thriller fan. So if I don't have it, I'll just pick that up. This is out of print. Some women in prison film. A little more obscure. This is not one that's talked about. It took me a minute to sort of place it in my head. And I actually got this in Louisville, as you guys know. Several of us podcasters met up at the Imaginarium convention, and I found this one at half-priced books, and it is Banished Behind Bars. This was a cool pickup because it is out of print. It's not a super cheap one to find. I love women in prison films, and I know this had kind of like a biker element to it too. A lot of these do run together. Not one of the more seedy ones from what I remember, but I remember it being fairly well made. So who knows? We might have a retro review. Banished Behind Bars. Right. I don't know why I do this to myself. Bruce Willis, he ain't what he used to be. But every once in a while, I'll take a gamble, especially when, again, it's like a $3 DVD. So I picked up Breach with Bruce Willis, and of course, it's never actually Bruce Willis starring in the thing. It's also got Thomas Jane and Cody Kersley. So I grabbed it. I think it's like kind of like an Alien ripoff. Looking at the trailer, the CG is really, really bad, but I don't know. Hopefully it'll be fun. I always really like Thomas Jane. I think his career could have been a little bit more than what it was. And unfortunately, I don't know. His time came and went. I mean, he didn't have a bad career. I just thought, like, after Punisher, he would be like the next big action star. Moving on. Creature feature. This one's actually set in World War II. I haven't watched it yet. Saltwater, the battle for Ramree Island. Apparently based on a true story. I have no idea how, but looks like there might be some practical in this, although I kind of doubt it. I think I grabbed this at Walmart if memory serves, and sorry, getting distracted here. So I'll check that out. We might do like a creature series. We've done like shark shows, but there's just as many like croc films too that we'll have to check out. So hey Hayden, Brian, what's up? Thanks for being in the chat. If I'm a little bit slow, like I said, I'm riding solo tonight, but I am trying to look at your comments in between. What have you guys bought recently? Brian, I see you picked up the VSAs you didn't have. I'm a little bit behind on Vinegar Syndrome. I still need to get Surf 2 and a couple things. Honestly, like as you'll see as we go along in this collection update, there were some sets that kind of killed me the last few months. So there are a couple things I haven't gotten yet. All right, this one actually has some good reviews. Another DVD pickup, Domain. Um, it seems like this is a science fiction horror film, kind of like a cube sort of scenario where I guess they're locked in some kind of high tech bunker. Looked like it had some decent reviews. This was Second and Charles pickup again, couple bucks. Figured I'd grab it. Um, I actually did get one of those like box things that they sell uh, with a bunch of random movies. And there were a couple decent ones in there, actually. I was surprised. This one is not decent, but it did come in I think this was actually a locker. But it is Zombie Nation. Uli Lomel, towards the end of his career, did some truly awful, like as bad as they come, serial killer flicks. And this is actually a serial killer movie too, but it like blends a voodoo priestess and different things. Pretty much everything that he made in the 2000s was almost unwatchable. I remember this one threw a lot at the screen though. You had serial killer, lady voodoo zombies, and all sorts of wild shit that should be more entertaining than it was, but you know, hey, it is what it is. Moving on. So, hey, Jamie, I see got a bunch of people in the chat right now. Orc, what's up? Jess, nice to see you guys. Yeah, you guys are saying hi to Jamie. I don't see Jamie in the chat, but Jamie, if you're invisible somewhere, hello anyways. I don't know why you would be invisible. Oh, well, Jesus, Hayden, then why'd you say hi to Jamie? God damn, man. All right, so this one, I actually had to buy this, and I was lucky to get it cheap because Lauren, when we were in Louisville at that half-price books, discovered an H.P. Lovecraft documentary that I didn't even know about. And I went on eBay and I found a relatively cheap copy. It's called The Eldritch Influence, The Life, Vision, and Phenomenon of H.P. Lovecraft. And this has got interviews with S.T. Jossie, Ramsey Campbell, Neil Gaiman, Brian Lumley. If you're a horror literature fan, you'll know some of those names. Definitely responsible for carrying on the legacy of H.P. Lovecraft. So I was glad I got that. I was jealous. I think Lauren got it for like $2, but I had to get it once I knew it existed. All right, moving on with the DVDs. This is a blaxploitation horror flick called Death Ranch, and it's takes place in the 70s and follows these group of African Americans who do battle with the Ku Klux Klan, who are actually demons. So I thought it was a kind of a cool premise. I'm a big blaxploitation guy, as some of you know. I love Pam Grier in particular, and this looked pretty cool. There's actually a book out right now, Ring Shout or something like that, that has a similar theme of the Ku Klux Klan as demons, which I thought was pretty cool. Probably have a review on this coming at some point because I thought the premise was pretty unique. What's up, Jamie? How are you doing? Now I see you for real. I don't know what was going on there, but it's good to see you in the chat. This is a new one, a zombie film. Not usually a good thing nowadays. It just depends, but this looks decent. The Curse of Hobbs House. It actually has some solid reviews, so I'm still a sucker for zombie movies. I'll usually pick them up irregardless. And this one, I can't even say this looked particularly great, but I did pick it up because it's called Amityville Witches. And well, the cover's pretty cool. Kind of looks like a Craft ripoff, Craft Charmed sort of thing. But I picked it up actually because Kira Reed, late night Cinemax fans will remember Kira Reed. She doesn't act all that often anymore. She married like some super rich TV mogul, and I think he actually died, and she's kind of getting back into acting. So I love her. This movie, I don't have high hopes for, but we'll see. She was in stuff like Sex Files and a lot of like Cinemax favorites from back in the day. Um, so I'm excited to see that. This is another one. I got this in a bin at no, actually, this was a storage locker pickup, and this we reviewed this forever ago. It's called "The Dead Don't Die in Dallas," and this had a pretty unique premise. It was about basically you had like this sort of Westboro Baptist church, and there's a zombie sort of Westboro style church, and there's a zombie outbreak, and it ends up that kind of a group of gay people end up held up with the Westboro Baptist Church during a zombie apocalypse. I remember it being pretty unique, like not a great film, but I thought the premise was really, really cool, like Bible thumpers versus this group of gay people. This one, don't know anything about it, but it stars Jeffrey DeMunn, which is always a good thing. The Clinic. He is a fantastic actor. Of course, a lot of people recently know him as Dale on Walking Dead, but of course, he's been in countless classic films. Shawshank Redemption, of course. So grab that. I'm going to start speeding through some of the DVDs a little bit faster because, like I said, I've got a pretty intimidating pile here. Just checking out the chat a minute. Oh, Jamie, you shot some video at Pirates Cove. And yes, another Amityville movie, King. It's almost impossible at this point to keep track. I mean, you can kind of keep track of the official Amityville movies, which are kind of not connected anyways, except the Cursed Object films. But as far as like titles that just carry the Amityville name, forget about it. I mean, there is so fucking many at this point. This is a slasher, Sorority House. I picked up. It's not been the best year or so for slashers, and in the U.S., Skull the Mask was really good, but that's not an American film. So I don't know. Hopefully, this one will surprise us. I don't know much about it. Just a campus slasher flick. Hopefully, it will deliver what we want to see out of a slasher flick. A few of these are a little older, so I'm going to roll through them kind of fast because I don't know much and I can't say anything. But Music Box, that's a Dollar Tree pickup, kind of a looks like a haunted music box. Nun's Deadly Confession, this is another Dollar Tree pickup. It's Echo Bridge, so it's everywhere. I'm sure you guys have probably come across it at Walmart. This one, this looked like kind of an erotic sort of vampire film, more of a classy one though. Manhattan Undying. Haven't seen it. This is actually a Canadian DVD that I picked up also at Dollar Tree, I believe. I'll check that out. What do we have here? Jeffrey Dumbass. Jess, do you have beef with Jeffrey DeMunn? Man, he seems like he would be fairly nice, man. I'm kind of disappointed about that. And Jamie rescuing some children at Pirates Cove. You're gonna have to tell me that story, Jamie. That sounds interesting. Jess, what did Jeffrey DeMunn do? Please tell me it's not like some creepy Weinstein thing. I don't want to hear that Jeffrey's up to no good. The Heiress. This is this actually still has this plastic, so I think I grabbed this at Walmart. Kind of a paranormal film set at a psychiatric old folks sort of thing. Check that. You probably will be seeing some reviews on the channel for some of these films. Also, Trace. This actually looked fairly decent. People messing around and opening portal to hell. Fun times, just a Saturday night sort of thing. Getting towards the bottom of the DVD pack, we've got The Parish, which Bill Oberest Jr. stars in this. So if nothing else, it's got some really good acting. He's one of the better indie actors working today. And he was just in like 3 from Hell, Rob Zombie, a bigger movie he did. But you can always count on him for a good performance. And yeah, this is kind of a killer nun flick. So what do we have here? This is a, I want to get the country right. Don't want to be racist. This is a Thai film, Killer Karaoke. Grabbed this at Walmart. Looks like a lot of fun, actually. Looks like a wild time. And yeah, actually, I guess it is kind of like a gory musical. I don't know if it has enough musical numbers to qualify as a full-on musical, but I like Thai films, so I figured I'd check that out. Oh, all right, Jess. So he didn't do anything horrible to you. That's good to good to hear. We've got Dana hitting on Jess. Jess, you bring that out of people, I guess. Yeah, Jamie. Well, hell, I'll see if I can get Killer Karaoke to you, and maybe we can do a review on it at some point. We love having you back on the channel. It's been a little while, so we got to get you back on. Also, Pixie. This is like an action comedy. I picked it up. I really like Olivia Cook, who's on Bates Motel, and watched her in a lot of stuff lately that I really liked. So I grabbed it. Alec Baldwin, Colm Meaney from Deep Space Nine, also in that one. We reviewed this one, so you can go and see the review. H.P. Lovecraft's The Deep Ones from Chad Farron. I'll let you listen to the review. Not all good, not all bad, but it had some interesting stuff in it. Also got Second and Charles. This is a ghost flick. Lost Gully Road. It's got some decent reviews that are not from Horror Society, so you know they might actually be worth listening to. We got Mayuki. This is kind of like looks like a gory thriller sort of thing. In this particular company, it's probably kind of a more erotic type horror film. Grabbed that at in Louisville at half-priced books. Moving forward, almost at the end of the DVDs, we got Interview with the Serial Killer. This is an older, well, actually early 90s Peter Firth serial killer flick. Grabbed that at Second and Charles. This I have never heard of, but I like Jamie King. It's kind of looks like a sort of erotic thriller, True Lie. I picked this up for like $2, so if I haven't seen it, hey, it's new to me. I will check that out. let you know if it's any good. New anthology horror flick. Well, no, actually, no, actually, it's not. Phobius. The next one is an anthology horror flick. Just recently picked this up at Walmart. Looked fairly interesting. We've got this is an anthology horror flick. 100 Candles, and looking Amy Smart's in this, which I thought was kind of cool. Don't see her as often as I'd like to nowadays, and I think this might. Looking at the directors, I'm thinking that this is actually like more ABCs of Death style. So I think this is like a lot of different shorts, possibly. I like a good anthology. So we'll let's see. What do we got going on in the chat here? Yes, Jamie, I definitely want to have you on if we review that. And I do appreciate everybody bearing with me because I'm a one-man show tonight, which I'm not used to, so I'm going back as much as I can. House of Shadows. This appears to be... this one kind of seems to be a paranormal themed horror film. And actually it might be from Spain. I'm not, or at least takes place in Spain. So grab that. And the last DVD we have here, fresh from Walmart, The Unfamiliar. A lot of these I do not know a whole lot about. They're new, so we'll check that out. That's the end of the DVDs. I'll show off some action figures next. Why not? All right. Try not to knock down my pile here. I didn't start collecting these when they first kind of started to put them out. It's these Mego monsters figures. You can find these usually at Walmart, Target. A lot of places have them. And I got some. I have a wall I cleared that I'm hanging some action figures. So I got Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs, of course. I grabbed that. I was actually disappointed. They had one Leatherface one, but the packaging was pretty messed up. This, I think, is actually the coolest one that I got from this line, and that is Christopher Lee, Hammer's Dracula figure. I thought this was really, really cool. I'm so glad that this is out there. I wish that Christopher was still around, that I could get this signed by him, but yeah, it's pretty cool detail. They got sorry about the glare, but they got the face pretty good on this one, especially for a cheaper figure, and it's got like the red eyes. Thought it was pretty cool. All right, the next one that I got, I actually do have a bunch of signed Linda Blair Exorcist stuff, so I don't know why I needed another one, but again, I thought some of these figures look pretty cool. So if I see her again at a convention, which I'm sure I will, I'll add that to the signed Exorcist collection. And the last one for those particular figures is right here, Phantom of the Opera, Mask of the Red Death. Pretty cool figure, and I'll probably grab some more of these. I don't know if I'm gonna like worry about getting every single one, but at least the horror ones I will try and pick up. This I got I think right after I did the last collection update, but I did get the Rowdy Piper They Live figure. Such a nice guy in person. I was really sad when he passed away. He actually had his son with them at the last convention I went to. He was like training for an MMA career at that time, and I got to talk to him for a little bit, which I thought was really cool. Let's see. Yeah, Jess, I really like the Hammer figure. I do not have any My Dinner with Andre action figures. Let's see here. Oh, Brian, very cool. Yeah, is it that it's Tall, Dark, and Gruesome, isn't it? That was the I think his autobiography. I'm assuming you have. Oh, very cool, Jess. I really love Hammer's The Mummy. I think it's underrated and doesn't get talked about enough. I've always said I prefer the Frankenstein films from Hammer over the Dracula ones, at least as a whole. Although I certainly love Christopher Lee and their Dracula flicks. So, got a new Candyman figure. Not my first Candyman. This is from NECA, and pretty cool. It's actually from Farewell to the Flesh, which I suspect is still going to be better than the new Candyman. I would be surprised if the new one is as good as Candyman 3 at this point, which is not very good, mind you. But yeah, you can actually switch out the head with the bees in the mouth. So I thought this was pretty cool. You can get this at Target, or at least I did. I assume you still can. Target, it's funny. Over the last couple of years, Target has stepped up their action figure game, and pardon me, I'm not used to talking this much. Yeah, I've actually, Target's worth going into once in a while. Again, they've never been much for movies, but they at least have some collectibles. Toonie Terrors. I haven't collected all of these again, but I got a couple of these recently. I have pretty much every Evil Dead themed figure and merchandise ever made at this point, or I gotta be damn close. So I was like, all right, I'll get it. They're pretty cool. Actually, Kruger, I believe, has like all of these, or close to all of these. I know he's collecting all of the Toonie Terrors line. I also got Michael Myers. Not excited for Halloween Kills. I hope it's at least entertaining at this point, but I'm not. I don't know, guys. I've heard some things, and I'm not feeling it. All right, let's start with the BluRays, and let's see here. Dana is horny. That's good. Well, Hayden's in the chat, Dana, and I'll hook you up. I have Hayden's number, so go for it. Yeah, Jess, I remember them announcing that St. John Smith movie. Ironically enough, it had like a big cast, didn't it? Like I know Piper was in it, but then there was several other names in that one, and I remember for a while being disappointed because I was like, when the hell is this thing coming out? And then obviously it fell apart, but love to hear about that one sometime. Hayden, I know they made a ghost face. I guess you don't have Second and Charles in Texas, but you could check there. There we go. We're hooking Hayden and Dana up. So there you go. You'll make interesting children, you guys. All right. So I'm like way out of order. I tried to organize some of these by company, but it is what it is. So we reviewed this one, Spare Parts, which is kind of like a female gladiator flick. They get this rock band gets kidnapped, and the ladies get their limbs cut off and replaced with weapons, and wake up in this sort of it's not futuristic really, but I don't know. It's kind of unclear where this is supposed to take place. We do have a review for it. If you scroll back a ways, I liked it. Kruger did not. I don't remember what Todd thought of this one, but I had fun with it. Julian Richings, who has been in a lot of stuff recently, including Anything for Jackson, plays the villain, and I had a good time with it. Kind of a grindhouse style flick. I had fun with it. It's not great, but I thought it was entertaining. This was quarantine era release that I know a lot of people saw in theaters. I did not. Nobody. I grabbed the 4K. Bob Odenkirk. Curious to see him basically as John Wick, which I find kind of amusing. I've heard a lot of good things about this one, though. People said they were pleasantly entertained. Also, Jaws ripoff flick, Tintorera. This is Susan George, the beautiful Susan George is in this. It's a Rene Cardona Jr. flick. I love some of the Jaws ripoffs. A lot of them were not available for the longest time for legal reasons, and this one is from 1978. And this, I'm a huge fan of this movie. I really am. It's a great action flick called Drive with Mark Dacascos, Kadeem Hardison, Brittany Murphy is in this, and she came up recently on a show. I felt bad when she died. I thought she was really talented. As far as action goes, I highly recommend this one. MVD put it out, and I remember picking this up back in the late 90s at the video store and thinking, all right, generic action flick. I like Mark Dacascos, but really didn't expect much. And this is a really badass martial arts flick. Well, since Hayden's in the chat, it's Rush Hour, but good. So check this out, Hayden. I think you in particular would really like this one. What do I got next? We did review this. This is an ugly, nasty little flick from Olaf Ittenbach, No Reason, from Unearthed Films. Yeah, the back cover is clean, luckily. But if you're a gore hound and want to check out a truly fucked up movie, and I really mean it, there's some pretty rough violence, and nobody is spared from it in this one. Good German gore flick, as only Olaf Ittenbach can deliver. Also from Unearthed Films, we reviewed this a while back. I just got around to getting the Blu-ray, and that is the Ryan Nicholson film Torched. So Torched is literally, it's less than actually 44 minutes, so it's technically a short. And this is like 44 minutes of basically genital mutilation. So if you want to see that, it will make you wince, gorehound or not. This movie, God damn it! I will just say that one scene involves a blowtorch, and yeah, not fun for the ladies. Jamie, Dana, kinky Dana, very cool. Let's see. Reading some of the chats. Oh, that's cool, Corey. You saw Spare Parts. Yeah, Jenna Jameson, I remember, was in that. Jess, and maybe that's ironically, I'm not a big fan of her adult work, but yes, I will pass Dana. But like I said, Hayden, he's your guy. CM Punk, Mikey, yes, I think that's official now in AEW. Yeah, Hayden, check other targets, because yeah, and it's usually in the very back, like where the movie section is, if yours still has much of a movie section. Well, Jamie, it is, in fairness though, it is only dudes that get cut up in that. Well, it's kind of like an I spit on your grave style revenge story, but then the other like 40 minutes is just her uh enacting revenge, all to do with the testicles, and yeah, so not pleasant. This is an exclusive website exclusive, and it might be sold out now. If it's not and you want it, I'd grab it. Some pair of Roger Corman classics on Blu-ray, Big Bad Mama 1 and 2, with Angie Dickinson. William Shatner was in the first one. These are fun movies. I like these quite a bit. If you're a fan of Roger Corman and you haven't checked these out, yeah, you should. I know what year was. I know there was a big jump in between. Yeah, 1974 and 1987 were the dates on these. Glad I got this. Those the Shout website exclusives, you got to grab those quick, particularly the horror ones, because I've noticed those sell out almost immediately. They go fast, so you can't sleep on them, unfortunately. We reviewed this. Everybody knows this movie, Willy's Wonderland with Nick Cage. It's another one you can go back and see our review of it. Stray DVD that got in with the Blu-rays. Claw. This is a raptor creature feature. Apparently it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, and I don't know, I heard at least a couple okay things about it. Kruger, of course, is a big creature guy and a big dinosaur guy, so I'm sure we'll have a review coming soon for Claw. And what do we have next? Shout out to Pug's Dread. So I'm not a superhero movie guy, but even I liked this as a kid. It's not a good movie, but it's a fun experience. Howard the Duck on 4K. I think a couple different people. I think Stone Gassman, if you're not subscribed to his channel at Region Free, is probably going to do a show on this, and I'm sure we'll probably have a watch along with Pugs at some point. You can grab this at Walmart if you want it. Like I said, it's not a good movie, but it's a fun movie. I liked it when I was a kid, and I liked it enough to pick it up. And I don't like recent superhero things, so go figure. All right. The beautiful Sybil Danning, Panther Squad. This is a new Blu-ray from Full Moon. It's an 80s action flick. And can't go wrong with the beautiful Sybil Danning. We have one coming up soon. We're doing a series of kind of Scream Queen spotlight shows, and we're going to kind of focus on some that are not just the household names. There have been a lot of Scream Queens that we all have probably seen, but maybe don't remember the names, that we want to highlight a little bit. So we're going to have to do that at some point. Sybil, you should know, but not everybody does. So I grabbed this in Louisville. This is a David Bowie biopic called Stardust. Mark Maron is actually in this. It's a little bit unusual because I don't think they got clearance to use any of Bowie's music. So it's kind of a bummer, but I'm still kind of curious to check it out. I like Mark Maron. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll actually review it, but yeah, Bowie was interesting. So I'm kind of curious to check that out. Also from Full Moon Blu-ray, a Klaus Kinski flick, new to Blu-ray, Lover of the Monster, which is an Italian-Turkish production, I believe, or at least Hand That Feeds the Dead was. I think these were shot back to back, and Klaus Kinski, he was a piece of shit human being, but he was always very compelling to watch. Let's check, see what's going on in the chat. Okay. Well, Jamie, like I said, genital destruction, you know, it is what it is. I mean, if I can get through it, you should be able to get through it. I'm just saying, because goddamn, if that's a kink for anybody, you get that in Torched. It's literally 45 minutes of just dicks being torn apart. So, all right, grabbing another pile here of Blu-rays. We've got some spaghetti westerns. Hayden, I know you have recently kind of gotten into those. I've got The Hellbenders, which is a Sergio Corbucci film, so it is naturally essential if you are a spaghetti western fan. This one's not talked about as often as some of his more famous films, but nonetheless, Sergio Corbucci. You cannot go wrong with Corbucci. And another spaghetti western, this time from Enzo G. Castellari, who directed the original Inglourious Bastards, among many other great films. This is Kill Them All and Come Back Alone with Chuck Connors. Really looking forward to it. I know I've teased a spaghetti western show for a very long time, but it will happen. It will definitely happen. So this is actually a spaghetti western that kind of unusual because it like takes place in Canada, and it is directed by Armando de Osorio, who has directed one of my all-time favorite horror films, Tombs of the Blind Dead, and this is Hudson River Massacre. Kind of a unique setting, but and not kind of pretty obscure. I don't remember really hearing a whole lot about this. I knew about it because I am a big fan of Osorio. Because again, Tombs of the Blind Dead, man, that series is way up there for me. Look forward to checking that out. This one's a pretty notable movie. I just got around to getting the Blu-ray. It's one bedroom. Made a lot of noise. I guess 2020, I guess it was. During quarantine, a lot of people saw it on Netflix, so very well reviewed. I don't know if we actually reviewed it, but I think we talked about it during our best of the year show. This we did review, Benny Loves You, which actually kind of delivered on the ridiculous premise for me. Just a guy whose beloved childhood plush doll comes to life and murders anybody that he perceives disrespects his master. I had a good time. I had a good time with this, and you can check out our review. Another one during quarantine. We reviewed it. You can go back and check it out. We Summon the Darkness with Alexandra Daddario. Just got around to grabbing the Blu-ray finally, and I think we had kind of mixed thoughts on that one, but another quarantine film, Vivarium. Got the blue. I know this was kind of a rough watch because it's kind of quarantine themed. Like they get trapped in the suburbs and the suburbs that don't want to let go of you, sort of deal. This is horrible, but what can I say? I bought it. The Toll. I don't even think we actually reviewed it. It's not a very good movie, unfortunately, but I grabbed it on Blu-ray. Here's a 4K. V for Vendetta. Everybody knows that film, but I did upgrade to the 4K on this one. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe let's do a new review. Let's see. All right, Hayden is going to bang Dana. Yeah, Jamie. Jess is covering the Puppet Master films later tonight. Oh, cool. Indie Phantom. Yeah, have you actually seen Hudson River Massacre? I don't think I've actually seen that one. and I've watched a lot of spaghetti westerns, but I don't think I ever saw it even when I was a kid. Jamie loves We Summon the Darkness, so there's a recommendation there. Very cool. Hey, Darren, if I didn't say hi to you yet, grabbing another pile. I'm going to have to start speeding this up. It's taking longer than I thought. Monster Hunter on 4K, Mila Jovovich. This one is very mindless, but fun. I mean, it delivers the creature stuff. It just pretty much rips off Stargate, and then it's Mila Jovovich and Tony Jaa fighting monsters. So can't go wrong with that. Spell, I haven't gotten around to watching this yet. Kruger did, and I know he liked it. Grabbed that on Blu-ray just recently. This, I will point out, you got to get the Canadian Blu-ray of Deathcember. This is kind of a series of shorts, but there was one very, very graphic and fucked up story that is not available on any of the on Vudu or any of the streaming services, at least last I heard. A lot of familiar names in this one: Barbara Crampton, Tiffany Shepis, AJ Bowen. But you got to get the Canadian Blu-ray if you want that particular segment. It's an animated segment. We did review this if you want to go back. Pollyanna McIntosh was also in this. Trent Haga. This is one of those ones you want on Blu-ray. You will see when you. I don't even have to tell you which is the band story because you'll just fucking know. All right, another one I grabbed. This is an indie film, For the Sake of Vicious. This is kind of a home invasion sort of thing with bikers. Looked like a good time. Somebody recommended it to me, so got that. I got Things, which is part of the infamous Things. God, I think there's like 4 or 5 of them now. I know there's Donald Sterling, I think, has like a website exclusive box set of the Things movies, but this is a new one. Won't show the well, it's mostly gore, but killer slugs, and it's an anthology horror film, so we will check that out. This is from AGFA, Scary Movie. This is a Halloween themed film that was never officially put out before the Blu-ray. It was from 1991, and it's kind of notable because it was John Hawkes' first film, which of course they put him front and center. I don't know if he actually stars in it, but yeah, a little lost oddity. Pick that up. That this is Frenzy, pretty standard shark flick, but it wasn't cheesy. So if you're sick of the cheesy sci-fi shark flicks, hey, it's not great, but reasonably well made from what I remember. From Scream Factory, we have Eyes of a Stranger. It's a really good slasher film that stars Jennifer Jason Leigh, and it's gotten a lot of love recently. I think Piz reviewed this on his channel not too long ago, so you can check out his review. I'm sure we'll probably do a review of this shortly, but I'm pretty sure also Pizzow. Why am I calling him Pizzow? Pizzow. Check out his channel. Of course, region free as well if you haven't subscribed. And I know he has a good review of this up, so check that out. Let's see here. Joe D'Amato, Crazy Nights. This is kind of a Mondo style smut flick from the great Joe D'Amato. Full Moon put the Blu-ray out, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. Say what you will, Joe D'Amato never fails to entertain me. And grabbing a few more here from the pile. I have a new Jess Franco film. This is Angel of Death. Not one that's talked about as much from his uh, filmography, and there were some issues with this. I think Andrea Bianchi may have took over, or vice versa, on this one. It's actually a war film about Joseph Mengele. So, yeah, World War II. So, I guess you don't want to be showing the German flag there. So, uh, and yeah, completed by Andrea. I couldn't remember which way that went, but there's also a World War II Jess Franco film out there with Mark Hamill, of all people. This is 80s Franco, so late 80s Franco, actually, I believe. Yeah, 87. So kind of a somewhat of a dry period in his filmography. I also grabbed a pair of Emmanuel films with Laura Gemser. Got Emmanuel and the White Slave Trade. Any fans of late night cinema knows the Emmanuel films, and making sure the back's clean, it is. Yeah, these are also Full Moon put out the Blu-rays of these, so check that out. Also got Emmanuel and Black Velvet. I love Laura Gemser. Even if you're not familiar with some of her movies, she did the costumes on Troll 2 and had a very interesting career. I'm more of a Laura Gemser guy than I am a Sylvia Crystal guy, but I have her Emmanuel films as well. Also from Full Moon, we've got The House of Cruel Dolls, another sexploitation flick, and Full Moon's actually been releasing some very obscure stuff recently. We have a review of this one, Jacob's Wife. This is a Barbara Crampton and Larry Fessenden vampire flick. I actually had a lot of fun with this. I thought it was a really meaty role for Barbara Crampton, who a lot of times tends to lately, kind of be a supporting role, but this is all her. So if you are a Barbara Crampton fan, check that out. Just got this from Scream Factory, the House of Wax remake, the slasher film that I think is underrated. It's actually a lot of fun. I think it got a lot of shit just because Paris Hilton happened to be in it, although she's cast perfectly. So I don't know. This is one worth revisiting. It's one, you may have seen it in theaters and don't have a good memory of it, but honestly, it's a pretty solid slasher flick. Also got Animal House on 4K, which I don't think you really have to upgrade to it. It's not the best 4K, to be perfectly honest. If you have Animal House on Blu-ray, you're probably good, unless you just want the novelty of having it on 4K. It's kind of a so-so release. Yes, Indie Phantom. I love Laura Gemser, and I'm so happy to see more of her stuff coming on Blu-ray. And yeah, House of Wax is good. I'm not afraid to say it. Hayden, Jess Franco Hayden. God damn it. But I like James Franco too, so that's cool. Stone, also in the chat. How's it going, Stone? Yes, Eyes of a Stranger. Yeah, I think maybe you did a review of it too. I think Piz and Stone. So yeah, Stone Gassman's channel. Check that out. I think he also has a review of it. I'm gonna try and pick up my pacing a little bit here, so we're not here all night. I got the new Steelbook of Battle Beyond the Stars. I'm not like a Steelbook guy. I don't have to get every Steelbook, but it is also a new transfer, and it is the most expensive Roger Corman flick ever made. So you got to check it out. It's Corman doing Star Wars, and I think it's a fun film. Bright Angel with Lily Taylor, who I always really liked. This is a early 90s flick that I saw way back in the day always really liked Lily Taylor, and upgraded the Blu-ray. Another Jennifer Jason Leigh Blu-ray, Heart of Midnight. This is this is a really good movie. I remember liking this a lot. Steve Buscemi plays a real skeezy psychopath in Heart of Midnight. Kind of one of those films that's, I mean, I think always been fairly well received, but is not talked about very often. And I was happy to see Kino putting that on Blu-ray. This is, oh no, this one isn't Kino. This is Olive. The Boost with James Woods and Sean Young, who were a real life couple and had a hell of a breakup. In fact, she like put like voodoo dolls on James Woods' front door and all sorts of crazy shit. This is like a drug themed film. I know like James Woods is basically all hopped up on cocaine, and I think he was like a realtor or something. I remember enjoying the movie. I always liked Sean Young, so I got that pretty cheap on eBay. Deliver Us from Evil. This is a Korean action film. I love Korean cinema, so looking forward to checking that out. Also, Scream Factory, The Mole People. This is a Universal horror flick. Finally got around to getting the Blu-ray. I have most of these, and I think I'm missing one of the Universal horror Blu-ray sets at this point, so I'll have to get those soon. This this I got for like $5, and it may not be good, but it sucked me in based on the title, and that is Pazookas, Island of Vomit and Despair. I'm sure it does not live up to the cover art, but well, on the back there is blood and there is vomit, so there's that. Also, just got this on 4K, Dead and Buried. I got it's the glare is going to make it hard to show, but it's a 3D lenticular cover. Actually, the original art for this sold out, apparently, so probably should have got that. It would have been more rare, but I don't know. I kind of like the needle going into the eye thing. Speeding it up. We have a review of this, Shadow in the Cloud. Go check out the review. This is an Alex de la Iglesia flick, which is also on Blu-ray. It's exclusive to Diabolic, and it is Witching and Bitching. One of his more recent films. I love Alex de la Iglesia, and he still does fantastic work. Surprised he never broke out like I thought he would. Speeding it up, this is the Australian Blu-ray of Blood Vessel, which is a great vampire flick, and this is region free, so yeah, you can get it on eBay or I assume Umbrella's website. Also another slasher, He Knows You're Alone. Not the greatest slasher film in the world. It is an early appearance from Tom Hanks. It's not bad either. It's just kind of mid-tier slasher territory. Another Ryan Nicholson film. We've done several Ryan Nicholson shows, so you can also hear our reviews on, well, pretty much everything. I know we still have like Hanger and some other reviews coming. This is from Honor Films, and yeah, this one's a little more spoofy though, so it's got his signature gore, but it's also a little more lighthearted. So, Jamie, if you don't want the genital torture, that one's they just pretty much kill people. It's no torture, just killing. I grabbed this on 4K, the 2014 Godzilla flick. I didn't get Godzilla vs. Kong on 4K yet, but it's on my list. I will eventually. Tenet. Grab the 4K. Everybody knows Tenet. Anything for Jackson on Blu-ray. We gave a very positive review for this. You should definitely check this out on Shudder, and because I think it's an amazing film. I really liked it. I thought it was one of the best of 2020. This is a creature feature, but kind of unique because it stars Rebecca Romaine and her real life husband, Jerry O'Connell, endangered species. Looks like a big old CGI rhino on the back. So I'm not expecting much from it, but we'll see. Lauren Dixon let me know about this. This is, trying to remember the country. I believe it's a Spanish Blu-ray set of Blair Witch and Book of Shadows Blair Witch 2, which is not out on Blu-ray here in the US. This is region free. So even if you don't have a region free player, you're covered. And let's see if I can show this. It kind of pops out old school VHS style. See how to open this because I know there were a lot of well, goddamn. Here we go. It's got, a little bit of a book in there in Spanish, unfortunately. Some pretty cool packaging on this, and you get the hopefully not spilling everything, the discs in there. It's your only way to own Book of Shadows as far as I'm aware. I don't think any other countries got that on Blu-ray. We'll put that away later. All right, got a pair of Mondo Macabre titles that I'm gonna have to. Yes, this one has nudity, so I'm gonna make sure I'm covered up. Howl of the Devil with the great Paul Naschy. I was so excited to get this on Blu-ray, and the back cover's got some nudity as well. So pardon me while I balance all this shit. Great film. I love Paul Naschy. You should also check out Memoirs of a Wolfman, which is his autobiography. It's really, really good. Sorry, I'm stalling while I'm making sure this is boob free. Hunting Ground, also from Mondo. Great Blu-ray, great revenge flick. I think this is the first time it's been uncut, if I'm not mistaken. And back looks okay. So there you go. We're going to get into some Vinegar Syndrome stuff. I know this is a long update, guys, so it's cool you're hanging out with me. Yeah, Indie Phantom, I remember that. That was pretty cool. They had the CD as well on that DVD. I doubt that is not a part of this, so yeah, it's definitely worth holding on to the DVD on that one. I'll have to check that out, Stone. Book of Shadows podcast on the Overhated podcast. Indie Phantom, I do recommend Hunting Ground. You should check that one out. Are you new to the channel? I've never seen you in the chat before. Thanks for being with us tonight. Silent Bob, how are you doing? And yes, rest in peace, Ryan Ryan Nicholson. I met him once years ago at a convention and seemed to be a really nice guy. I also had some interactions with him on Facebook throughout the years, and always seemed really cool. He did unfortunately lose his battle with cancer, I believe it was, and yeah. Brian Trash got the Battle Beyond the Stars figure. That's awesome, Brian. I just grabbed the movie. Mole People is a lot of fun. Jamie, Sean Young is a freak in the best possible way. Stone Gassman on his channel has commentaries coming up for Howard the Duck, Omega Man, and Love Machine. I don't know if I'd call it crap, Stone. I mean, I like Howard the Duck. It's good crap, at the very least. Paris Hilton is a boss. I don't know if I agree with that, Jamie, but I don't think she ruined the movie by any means, which a lot of people say. She also did Repo, the Genetic Opera, so she's got a couple good films out there. I will not talk shit on her. I've seen the indie around the. Oh, very cool. Okay, indie. That's awesome. if you are new to our channel, a couple weeks. Okay, cool. Welcome. It's very cool to have you. Maybe I've seen you on Region Free or Piz's channel. Uh, we always appreciate new faces. So, all right, getting back to this. I haven't picked up all the new Vinegar Syndrome Blu-rays yet. I still have a couple I need to grab next month, but I did get the televised Terrors set with Are You in the House Alone, Calendar Girl Murders, and Children Children in the Night. Children of the Night is a different horror film. Really cool set. There's a lot of TV movies that I would love to have on Blu-ray, so I'm excited to see what they have coming out in the future. And Vinegar Syndrome, so yeah, I'm sure you'll see reviews at some point. There's no nudity on this cover, so I think I'm okay. Also got Summer Camp Girls, which had a very sexy slipcover. This is XXX, just FYI. And I'm not a slipcover guy. You know, that's not something that, you know, gets me excited, but I will say, very hot slipcover. Here's a release a lot of people complained about, but I personally thought it was really cool that Vinegar Syndrome put out on 4K of all things, and that is the late 90s sci-fi cult film Six String Samurai. This is a absolutely fucking gorgeous set. Single film, but yeah, I'm happy. I remember liking it. It's a very odd movie, and it's not a cheap release, but it was well worth it for me. Also, a really fun film, Alley Cat, on Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome. Todd, I know, is a big Alley Cat fan. I am as well. And I also got this is a really wild film. Champagne and Bullets, also from Vinegar Syndrome, and beautiful, beautiful art on all of these. Keep going on the Vinegar Syndrome. I also picked up the Cardona collection, Volume 1. Rene Cardona, junior and senior, exploitation royalty. And I am very excited to check that out as well. I'm really behind on watches recently. So, hey, Piz, we've got Piz in the chat. You just came up earlier, Piz. I think you have a review of He Knows You're Alone and Eyes of a Stranger up on your channel. We haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm sure we do a concept called Slashtober, so we'll have a ton of slasher reviews for you guys come October. And all right. Also, we do have a review of this out there, so if you go back a little ways, the Homegrown Horrors Volume 1 set. Interesting mix of movies, Fatal Exam, Beyond Dream's Door, and Winter Beast. I would say Beyond Dream's Door is probably the best, although Winter Beast is getting a lot of love from people these days. It's interesting history with that film. It took many years to complete, and hey, I appreciate some stop motion monsters, and that certainly delivers that. Also got Grave Secrets on Blu-ray. I think that's the last of Vinegar Syndrome. I still need to get next month Surf 2 I still have to grab, and a couple other things from them. Not usually behind on Vinegar Syndrome. All right, we're coming down to the last stack of Blu-rays from Severin, and I'll have some books still to show off after that, but no, actually I lied. There is couple things from Arrow as well. I got Silent Running on Blu-ray to replace my previous Blu-ray, Bruce Dern, great sci-fi film, a lot of fun. Had to grab that. And okay, let's see. This is the last one from Arrow, and then I got a stack of Severin titles, which I still am waiting on some Severin stuff coming, but I grabbed the Weird Wisconsin Bill Redbane collection, which last I looked was fairly cheap for one of these sets. Bill Redbane made a lot of interesting films back in the day, and I think this also has, yeah, it has a booklet, and I think it has a documentary disc. So looking forward. I haven't even opened this yet, so got to make an excuse to watch it soon. More recent, well, not recent, but this was a 2000 horror flick with oh god, Seth Green was in it, Ted Raimi, Alice Cooper, Jeffrey Combs, a hell of a cast. Attic Expeditions, that they just put out on Blu-ray from Severin not a few months ago, or not too long ago. Grab that. One that I'm a really big fan of that they just put out on Blu-ray, Born for Hell. It's a nasty little movie. I think we probably will have a review for this at some point, so keep an eye on the channel. This one's a nasty little cult film. Let's see, what do we have going on in the chat? Yes, check out Piz's channel. He did have reviews for those. I think you reviewed the Homegrown Horror set, if I remember right, too. Yeah, Stone, there's a lot more coming from Renee Cardona. A lot of options for them there. Yeah, Indie Phantom, Surf 2 is going to be an interesting watch. I've heard some people said it doesn't live up to the cover art. I don't know if I ever saw Surf 2. I can't remember. The Giant Spider Invasion is not, but that is on Blu-ray, Stone. Let's see. Arrow is great. Indie Phantom. Yeah, Born for Hell is a good one. I had to grab that. And well, let's show off a big one, because the sets have been killing me recently, but I'm a sucker for a box set, and I did grab the Euro Crypt of Christopher Lee Blu-ray collection, which has several movies, as you can see there. It also has this Polish, the surviving episodes of this rare Polish horror series. It's got a 100-page book. This is an awesome set, and I'm kind of holding off. I think this will be like a Halloween time watch for me. So I was happy to get it. This was out of stock for a while, at least on Amazon, and I was starting to sweat a little bit because I didn't order it right away. And nowadays, you never know. Oh, this is also another 4K. Alejandro Jodorowsky's Santa Sangra. Great film. I recently got another Jodorowsky Blu-ray set, so who knows? Maybe they'll upgrade some of those to 4K as well. We're here with last four for movies, and then have some books to show off. And shortly after I wrap, I know Jess Graham, Cable Channel 11, is doing a Puppet Master show, so I'll be hopping on that. So check that out. If you're not subscribed to Cable Channel 11, please do. Jess does some great content, and he's got some great stories coming up, man. Jess has teased like all this Hollywood stuff that I'm really excited to hear about. This is a Blu-ray, new Blu-ray from notorious producer Dick Randall, and this is Invaders of the Lost Gold. This is an action film, but also a cannibal film. It was known as Horror Safari at one point. I believe that was one of the VHS titles for this. Pretty crazy movie. A must-own for cult film fans. I grabbed that. If you like dumb action movies of the 80s, Strike Commando is a lot of fun. You can double this up with Cage with Lou Ferrigno, which is fucking bonkers. Grab that on Blu-ray. Not a good movie, but if you like really stupid action films, Strike Commando is one you want to check out. They also put out Strike Commando 2, which I won't lie, I kind of wish they had bundled these together, but what can I say? I still bought it. So Claudio Fragasso and his wife Rosella Drudy of Troll 2 fame actually wrote this. So you know you're getting quality. And last but not least, making sure I haven't left because I got shit everywhere. But no, I believe last but not least, another set. I said I wasn't going to buy this. I really did. I was talking to Todd, and our agreement was I am not going to buy the Dungeon of Andy Milligan Blu-ray set if you don't buy the Evil Bong set on Blu-ray. We both have no willpower, apparently, because here it is. The Dungeon of Andy Milligan. So Milligan is definitely not the greatest filmmaker. He is interesting, though. And if you read his... actually, there's been a couple books on Andy Milligan. Not very fond of women. He had a rough upbringing. He's interesting. You know, it's kind of like the Ed Wood factor. The movies aren't good, but there's something interesting there. So I can't recommend this. They're not good films, but you know, if you're a cult movie fan, I doubt these are ever going to be available again. So there's that. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Then I'll show some books off and we'll wrap. Let's see. Hey, Lauren. Sorry I missed you. I don't know when you made that comment. I am showing off some books now, Lauren. So not nearly as many as I have had movies tonight, but oh no, hey, that's not true, Lauren. Piz is a big fan of Sean Hudson's Slugs, so I don't know. I think you insulted the man. That he's a fan. He knows classic literature, Lauren. And Jess, I'm going to apologize in advance because I'm going to have like very little voice left tonight, but I will be on still. All right, so books. I picked this up. I'm a big fan of Elizabeth Massey. I know Lauren is as well. And of course, I have Sin Eater, which is kind of like her classic. Most would consider that one a classic. And this is a short story collection that she did called Fear Report, and from Bloodletting Press. There's a really interesting story involving a traveling salesman that sells a colonic or something odd. I remember in this book's in pretty good condition, actually. This was one that I got cheaper, so I kind of expected it to be beaten up a little bit, and it's actually pretty close to new. So yeah, the Fear Report. Some of these might be a little more difficult to find. I do recommend abebooks.com. If you don't have an account there, sometimes I'll find stuff cheaper than I would on eBay or Amazon. And I've been really lucky lately finding some things. This, I haven't read it, but it's called Fiend by Peter Stenson. And this, all I heard was it had something to do, it's a zombie book, which again, not usually the most original thing, but it's something like they're meth heads, which makes them immune to becoming zombies, which I thought was kind of cool. So it's like meth heads versus zombies. I don't think this is like comedic though or anything like that. It's just sounded intriguing. This was $5, so I grabbed this one at Second and Charles. Looked it up, caught my eye. Look forward to reading that at some point. I'm a big Ray Garton fan, and this is one of his novellas that I have not read. Uh, Also a zombie book, Zombie Love. And I got this a little cheaper too. I mean, there's a little like, I don't even know if you can even see it on this little couple little blemishes, but it's usually like a $50 book. So I think I paid 15. I'm good. I'm good with that. I don't mind my books being beaten up a little bit. Another Ray Garton title. I paid a little bit more for this. I paid 25 bucks, but still pretty good. This is a Cemetery Dance short collection from Ray Garton, Slivers of Bone. Can't go wrong with that. He's one of those authors I try and collect everything that I can. Now this caught my eye because the hardcover of this is usually like, I mean, it can be anywhere from 70 to $100, and somebody must have just relinquished an entire collection at Second and Charles, at the Kennesaw location. James A. Moore's Blood Red, which is a Halloween set vampire story. And you can easily get the paperback, like I said, if you don't care about hardcover. But believe it or not, I got this for $4 at Second and Charles. And I'm grabbing it. I had the paperback, but I didn't mind upgrading, especially for that price. And I paid a little bit for also at Second and Charles. Like I said, somebody dumped their James A. Moore collection. This is Blood Harvest, which is a sequel to Blood Red. And I paid a little bit more. This was $11 and change, I believe. But this is also not a cheap book. So, yeah, every once in a while you'll get lucky there. I mean, like Cemetery Dance stuff, it's not like you're going to go in there and find those every time, but hey, I got lucky. This is another, Cemetery Dance, The Halloween Children. Getting some Halloween stuff. Got some reads. I don't think I've ever read this. It's from Brian James Freeman and Norman Prentice of Cemetery Dance. I know this is like, I think, told from the point of view of the parents and whose children, I believe, go on like some murder spree during Halloween. I don't know a lot about the book. I don't believe I've ever read that, so that will be a new one for me as well. Lauren is also a fan of Ray Garton and Elizabeth Massey. Books are physical media, Piz, indeed. And all right, moving on. One of these books does have some nudity I'm going to have to cover up, but another, you can find the paperback probably for nothing, but it's called Berserk by Tim Leben. And again, this seller had some stuff that claims was damaged, but most of these books look new. There's like a little imperfection on the back, but again, I will pay those prices because the horror, like I said, if you want to read Berserk, it was a leisure horror title, so you can certainly find the paperback probably for nothing. I got this a little while ago, and I'm covering some nudity on it. This was a Del Abyss book, but I got the hardcover, California Gothic by Dennis Etchison. This is actually one of his novels. Etchison is like considered one of the kings of short stories, and he's never been as well respected in terms of his actual novels, but I've always liked Dennis Etchison. It's not here yet, but I lucked out ordering a hardcover of Dark Country, which is a really good collection of stories that he was an editor on. All right. almost towards the end, so Jess, I'm not going to overlap with you. This was recommended to me, Radiant Dawn by Cody Goodfellow. I believe it's, if I remember, a kind of a cosmic horror type thing, military story that kind of turns into a cosmic horror story, and its sequel, Ravenous Dusk. This was a personal recommendation that I check these out. The first one's been out a while. I think the second one, I don't have a lot of backstory on these, but yeah. Oh no, actually they've been out a little bit. All right. Another one that I picked up at Second and Charles, The Beauty by Aaliyah Whitley. And this has a lot of acclaim. I've seen this book on like some different, I always try and look up like best horror novels that you haven't heard of type stuff, and this is something where basically all the women in the world just die, and but there's a little bit more to it, I think, because this was recommended pretty highly. So sorry I don't have more info, because most of these I have not read yet. There's a few I have, but I do highly recommend Brian Evanson. I've read some of his other books. I haven't read Last Days yet. He is amazing based on what I've read so far, and all of his stuff is in paperback, so very easy to come by, not too expensive. Everything should be in print, and these I have read, except actually the last one. I don't believe I've read it yet. Douglas Clegg, got these for a good price together. This is the they call it the Harrow House stories, and they're not, you can read these separate, but at least from what I remember, Nightmare House, I like a good haunted house story, and Mischief, again, the paperbacks and these are super cheap, so easy to find. This one, The Infinite, again, all of the this was Leisure Horror's first hardcover, I believe. I'm sure Lauren can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. I was actually really excited when I saw that way back in the day, because most of them are paperbacks. Also, The Necromancer, which is actually a prequel, and The Abandoned, and the last one that I have not read before, Isis, which is also kind of a prequel. All of these you can read separate, but yeah, I thought it was cool to upgrade. So that's all the collection stuff that I have to show off. Let's see what we got going on in the chat. Indie Phantom, I have a lot of film related books. Nothing like new at the moment, but I might show off some like older books that I have at some point. Yeah, well, these aren't all new, Indie Phantom, but sure, yeah. Visited by Voices One, who is in the chat. That's Lorne. If you're not subscribed to his channel, please do. You'll learn a lot about some well, new and old authors that you may not have heard of. He has a great channel, so be sure to subscribe to that. Atchison is a god among writers. He passed away not too long ago. Actually, God, was it during the pandemic, or was it, I don't know, like 2018, 2019? Awesome. Thank you, Jess. And thank you, Brian. So I'm going to slowly start wrapping up. I've got some stuff to pimp real quick. Just letting Todd know from all the way in Los Angeles that I'm slowly wrapping down. So pardon me. Um, so coming up on the channel, we have something a little bit different. We're going to be, thank you, Piz. I appreciate it. We're going to have a taste test show, and we're going to be reviewing a lot of different movie themed. We've got chocolate, hot sauce, bunch of different snacks. Might have some guests from the community on that show that have different things they just want to try out live on stream. So that should be fun. Should be kind of a fun little hangout show. It's something a little different from us. We have what do we have dropping next? We will have a Netflix horror show coming up soon, and so check that out. And I know, God, I filmed so much shit and I can't remember. We've got a couple live shows also coming up shortly. We have a sleepaway camp show coming down the line. We are getting ready because God, October is right around the corner. It sneaks up on you fast. So October is going to be jam packed. I am going to be down in Los Angeles with the rest of the Flesh Wound crew. So we're going to be well, hopefully, as long as stuff doesn't shut down there, we're going to be going to Universal Horror Nights, try and shoot some stuff there. We will probably be going to Knott's Scary Farm. So we're going to have a lot of different stuff coming up on the channel that you guys will want to check out. And as always, we really appreciate you guys listening. Thanks for tuning in for my little collection update. It went a lot longer than I expected. I think it was technically less than last time, but then when I was gathering it all together, I was like, oh shit, this is going to be a long show. But that's awesome that you guys hung out with me tonight. And what else do I have to pimp? Check out, there's a lot of people in the chat right now in the community, like I said. Piz, I think most of you probably know Piz's channel. You'll want to check that out. We've got Harvey Weinstein in the chat right now. Wow. I'm surprised they allow you to have a computer right now, Harvey. We also have Visited by Voices 1. That's Lauren's channel. Stone Gassman. I think I put everybody else over. Cable Channel 11, which is Jess, and he's going to be live at 11, just 20 minutes with the Puppet Master show. So if you're not sick of my face, I'll be popping on there in a bit. And that's all we got. Harvey, Todd, whoever you are, you can send us home.